We welcome you to Chicago. It is NBA Draft Combine Week in the Windy City. And for the first time ever, the NBA will have all of the top prospects in the draft in one location, including internationals, as we are at Wintrust Arena to tip off the week with NBA G League Elite Camp. Welcome inside.
These moments, you know, going in from last year now into this year, and just really seeing what's at stake for all these guys to try to get into that combine.
The combine coming up later this week here at Wintrust Arena. These hopefuls, 44 of them, will be playing in front of general managers, scouts, their college coaches as well. A select number of these players will receive the call from the Marriott Marquis Hotel next door that they are staying in Chicago for the NBA Draft Combine. 4 teams. We'll see Team 1 against Team 2. Here in this opener, it's a doubleheader of action, and we are underway. Interesting to see some of the talent that we have on display in this.
Maybe if you were on that bubble, you can come out here, you can show out, you can get an invite to that combine if you want to go down that route. But, you know, some people come out here just to test the waters. Absolutely.
As that 3 falls, a 3 for Cam McGusty, who was feeling it in Chicago just a few weeks ago for Miami. He had it stripped. And here comes Team 2. In the corner. Just a little bit off. Putback is there. And they're going to call an over-the-back foul on the rebound attempt.
I think one of my favorites.
Out of Kentucky. That's silky smooth from Jalen Wilson. That's what Jalen Wilson did for Kansas Jayhawks, making a run to a national championship, and the answer is good. Good ball, spent time at Georgetown, Arizona, and Baylor throughout his collegiate career. Good ball movement here by Team 2, but it's taken away by Wilson. Head of steam, Freeman Liberty to the cup.
Gotta like that. A lot of people, too, out there in the chat asking about Sharif O'Neal. Was Sharif going to leave? Sharif's playing today, but he'll be coming up in our second set of games. He's on that team number 3. So a lot of people.
O'Neal talked yesterday. He said, look, when your dad is Shaquille O'Neal, it's got its many ups, but also your dad's Shaq, and he expects the best. And he said yesterday, I wouldn't be who I am without my dad texting me and messaging me every day saying, look, you have to hold yourself to championship level standard, Mamba mentality. It's real.
No, that's it. You just got to think, right, the pressure of that.
Here comes Akinjo. So smooth in his ability to kick out. Right on cue. There's Michael DeVoe, who scored over 1,700 points in his collegiate career, and there is an answer from Hyunjung Lee. In the corner, Kellen Grady out of Kentucky. Pull up, a little bit long. Akinjo so quick.
Talk about making an impression here early. Every time he's coming down, he's doing something productive with the ball. No time wasted. We saw the playmaking abilities, and this time showing the finishing. That was officiated as well, but that was something that there was a lot of in that last elite camp.
That's perfect ball movement.
In transition.
Brown playing for Tom Izzo at Michigan State. Kyler Edwards answers from the corner.
His story, he had his mother pass away when he was just a young boy. And when I talked to him yesterday during media day, he spoke about what drives him. And obviously, that's one factor. He has his mother.
Now, DeVoe nearly 2,000 points in his college career, and just shows why. Here's Darius Days just checking in, getting fouled and connecting.
If I'm not mistaken, Darius Days was here last year at the elite camp, so it's the second time going around, you know, in this type of experience. And you always, in this type of environment, right, you already basically did the job interview once, you go at it again. Good work, mid-range, little flick on the wrist right there. That's good enough for that. I mean, it's a couple shooting fouls I've already seen coming off the jump shots.
I talked to him earlier and just asked him about how it is to be at elite camp, and he said, you know, things have really changed from when I played here, because he played here as a G League player. We used to have G League players that were in elite camp. Now it's more about young prospects that are in the draft. So things are different. But he said, you know, what I come here and tell them is that this is better competition than what you've already played against. This is an opportunity for guys to show that they're better than some of the guys they've seen. The difference between elite camp and the NBA draft combine. And he said, you know, for me as a coach, I don't know a lot going into it. These guys, he said he watched a few highlights this morning from the guys on his team, but what he hopes to tell them is keep everything in perspective. He wants to keep it light for them. He wants to encourage them. And he said...
they're on team 4. They'll be in the game that follows. Those two players going up against each other in the national championship game in April down in New Orleans. Another one of those players was Jalen Wilson, and he's got
early to better everybody.
Sharif O'Neal is on team 3. The son of Shaq will be in action in game 2 as Akinjo pulls up and hits. Freeman Liberty. Ooh. And one for Javon Freeman Liberty.
I'm going shooting.
Here's the thing. I think the shot is a given, because if you're not able to connect ways, and even then, who knows what your role's going to be, you've got to defend, and you've got to be able to make plays for others and help your teammates in key.
Got to give Team 2 some love if I'm going to talk about coaches. Look who's on the bench. Pooh Jeter, NBA veteran. He's also, and he said, you know, I'm in that middle spot. I'm trying to figure it out. If I'm going to coach or if I'm still playing. Playing is still my focus, but I want to come out here and give back like I've been doing with Team Ignite. And I said, what advice do you...
There's going to be a lot of Lee fans out there that are going to want that interview.
We got a lot of Lee fans. We've got Kenny Lofton Jr. fans as he hoists and hits. Kenny Lofton dialing it up from deep. Lofton out of Louisiana Tech. Taking the lead back here in this first half. A little less than 4 to go, and here is Lofton. He's lost 25 pounds to get his body in more shape and to come here to Chicago with a purpose. Ball back. Bouye gives it off. That 3 is good for Darius Days. Darius Days out of LSU. Versatile. So interesting. It's up in the national title game. We got big-time talent all afternoon. It's great to have you with us as Bouye knocks it down. Hands a home. A crossover here. Brown. Whoa, Gabe Brown here this week. What a career Edwards has had. In the corner for Jermaine Samuels, a little bit off now, 5 seconds left. Into the hands of Samuels. That's short, and the shot falls just before the buzzer from Jordan Hall.
What a way to stay gritty with it, right?
Getting a deal with the Indiana Pacers, guys who came through this camp and made their dreams come true. Starting out NBA. Here's Kellen Grady. Freeman Liberty with the floater. Smooth. He's brought up Dorian Finney-Smith for Darius Days. That's an interesting comp. How about Finney-Smith, man?
Hey.
He has been amazing. Here's DeVoe out in front. Michael DeVoe trying to back down. Left hand a little bit short. He fighting for the board. Falls in the hands of Kenny Lofton. America's favorite. Kenny Lofton whamming it down.
Coach Chat, future president. So that was good patience, though, too, in the footwork. Got him up in the air, up with straight 2 hands.
Here comes Akinjo. Looking to spark a rally for Team 2. James Akinjo.
You can see here, I mean, the hustle, and this is what we talked about. That extra step, the pump fake gets him up in the air, and starting to really love him down the paint and then back on the other side. Akinjo, like, okay, I can tell that's pushing into the 7-foot range. You don't even need the official measurements for it.
Wilson weaving, gives it off to Gee, who connects. Lofton wants it. Feed him. Kenny Lofton.
to the post, had a mismatch down there. When they finally do get it to him, trying to show him some different looks, and here you go. Big drop. What a move.
Only 19. Only 19 years young, folks. As that falls, gets it back. Nice dish downstairs. And now gives it off to Lee. Top of the key for Hyunjung Lee. Brown with the step back.
We saw Brown do that earlier. Something we highlighted is that one-on-one scenario. It's just going right at him.
Another three.
I'm going to go out there and vote.
Who are you voting for?
I'm going to go Lofton.
Oh! One-hand jam for Darius Days.
Here we go. And then just right up. Contact and all. It wasn't just one of those where you're trying to back down. Trying to get that one of Darius Days.
Here with 10 on the shot clock. Days has shined. Darius Days is on a roll.
Remaining consistent with it that we're seeing from this game so far has been from Days. And so we said attacking, going straight into the post. And honestly, no matter what, just had his way getting
the SEC. McGusty nearly lost it and does. Taken away by Vince Williams Jr. Now with the bump, Jalen Wilson to the cup.
Good little contact, and this has really just been the pace of play coming in from both sides. That's what we talked about, right? You take the step into them. Get a little.
Here comes team one, up by 11. Days nearly picked it off. Down to McGusty for the bucket. Shireman heading to the bench. Pull-up jumper falls for Jordan Hall. And that three's good for Wilson.
Make something happen. You can see here, though, from deep, like we said, pause, hold, let the cameras take their photos for you. Wilson and team. That's always the tough part when you're talking about things like this, because, you know, so much of it's going to come down to just those individual performances. But as I go crazy individually, but then we ended up getting blown out in the game.
Backdoor for Samuels with two hands. Here, another look.
There you see just going straight on the inside, and always nice to add the slams into there. With confidence too. Nobody wants. My Mavs in the conference finals. Yeah, I have a little bit to think about it.
That was smooth from James Akinjo.
Like you get under your skin quickly when you're out there on the floor.
Less than 4 to go for Gabe Brown. Sharing an alma mater with Draymond Green and Michigan State.
In Kyle Foster. And what's pretty interesting about that is he was actually able to play during All-Star Week. Players aren't getting these type of invites, and not only are they not getting the invites, they're also not getting the facilities that other people have.
In that regard. And then also too, right, Lofton. I think from what we've been seeing from him with how assertive he's been down in that paint. It's always really good to see that, right? We're talking about the size, maybe trying to slim down a little bit. I think he says, what, down 20 pounds? But still, we couldn't even tell with the way that he's just been able to kind of manhandle.
Eli Brooks dialing it up. Edwards can't hit, but the putback and one for Bryson Williams. Let you, if he were to come back. It's team one taking the 16-point win. Highlighted by Jalen Wilson. And company as the black team comes away with the win. Jamari.